Hello, dear friends. Truth is being revealed as the veil is lifted. For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing secret that will not be made known. Luke 8:17. Opinion piece. Phase shift. On a tightrope. On a knife edge. Lying in the sand. Controlled silence. Massive revelations. Holding the frequency. Space Force operations. Secret space programs. On the brink of the precipice. Prophecy of the ascending beast. Let's start. A phase change is the physical transformation a substance undergoes when passing from one state of matter to another one. Mr. Ed describes an imminent phase change as the transition from the old world to the new world with the revelation of truth after the storm. He refers to a forthcoming transformation of the system, such as an economic crisis, activation of the new financial system, dimensional transition, and political regeneration led by white forces. Juan Osabin reveals that in the not too distant future, a necessary shock event will occur to transfer control to the forces of light. He adds that when it is exposed that 71 countries were involved in electoral fraud, there could be retaliation from the dark side to regain control. Pam Gregory reveals that April and July could bring an accelerated awakening of collective consciousness, linked to energetic shifts and the collapse of control systems. April would bring initial tensions, with massive revelations and institutional collapses, initiating a process of collective mental breakdown with the release of hidden information, the collapse of official narratives, and a vibrational leap that would awaken millions of human beings. She wants that there will be necessary chaos to shatter illusions and to move towards sovereignty. Space Force. News agencies NBC and CNN have seen 15 high-level executives retire amid investigations into election interference. The collapse of the 2030 agenda came after the UN went bankrupt, with a 90% cut in contributions. The Space Force has taken the lead in cyber defense, neutralizing 12 attempts to hack election systems since November 2025. Space Force operations in secret space conflicts, satellite deactivation and protection from external threats, and hidden infrastructure. They have neutralized secret space fleets, including orbiting stations and lunar bases used for mind control and human trafficking. Spain is moving forward with NEMO, a geostationary space police satellite planned for 2027, along with more ground-based telescopes to monitor threats. Stewart Schwedlow claims that secret space programs connected to time travel, dimensional portals, and alien technology are collapsing the old world order. He describes hidden space fleets operated by a secret government with anti-gravity ships, bases on the Moon and Mars, and collaboration with reptiles for genetic manipulation and mind control from Montauk, as well as hyperspace experiments, creating super soldiers and interdimensional portals, but accelerating the breakdown of incoming energy and the awakening of humankind. Raids. According to Ethan White of Gaystellar, the raids arrested dozens of high-ranking bankers in the first week of 2026, impacting the core of a network that has siphoned of money for many years. Authorities accuse them of creating global debt systems using hidden bank accounts outside of normal records and altering central bank regulations for their own benefit. According to Mr. Red, all the back doors of the dark side have been cut. Starlink has taken control of the communications satellites, and the main EBS signal is live and locked, awaiting for the final exit code from the white hats. The recent raids were historic, with destruction of multiple high-value targets. Their assets are frozen, and their networks are dead. He adds that traditional banks are ghosts, empty shells without power, and that the QFS is now the only financial system. Humanitarian and redemption funds are being moved through secure channels. This is the controlled silence before the greatest revelation in history. The old world ends in silence, and the new world begins with light. We short line. According to Nordica, humanity is on the edge of the precipice, and it is necessary to maintain a high frequency in the face of the abyss. You are within the greatest event of all time. The world is hurtling toward that same precipice, and the air grows thinner every day. Those who feel do not need instructions. Knowledge comes first, through the body, slipping beyond thought and settling into feeling. Only on the precipice do people find the will to change. You knew comfort wasn't part of the deal. What you couldn't foresee was the slow forging of resolve, and now you realize something extraordinary. You are still here, and you made it. Now look around. The world is hurtling toward that same precipice, and the air grows thinner every day. Those who feel don't need instructions. Knowledge comes first through the body, slipping past thought and settling into sensation. That's why I say it's not a matter of believing, but of feeling. The earth is thirsting for restoration, for balance, for a future that can be sustained. The pressure you feel is the fire that molds you. It won't subside until the real calm regains, until the real can remain. This is where steadfastness is required, where wisdom becomes practical. Something else is unfolding, never on screens, never in headlines. It moves through us, through nervous systems learning a new rhythm, through the living trinity of body, mind, and soul. Authenticity. The Great Awakening is happening before our very eyes, moment by moment, breath by breath. This is where the true work begins, consciously chosen, where bitterness has no place. It consists of remaining calm on unstable ground and being the light for those who are awakening. Perfection was never required, only authenticity. You have paid a heavy price for seeing the truth too soon, and have completed rigorous training with years of pressure and uncertainty. You learned to stand without applause, to keep your heart open without becoming numb, to integrate without fracturing under the weight of it all. You have been tested in restraint. You are tender where it matters, and rock hard where it matters, and now those who are awakening will need that. As the exposure accelerates, many will enter a period of identity blackout. They will feel confused, angry, ashamed, scared, and disoriented. This is not the time to tell them, "I told you so." It's time to remember who you have become. So, we maintain our frequency. We do not abandon anyone because they awakened later, even if the path was not graceful or appreciate it. Let go of resentment now. You are powerful because you endure it with honor, because you choose integrity and remain courageous when the ground gave way. You stayed when it would have been easier to harden, when it would have been easier to disappear. You stayed with your heart intact. Revelations. Massive revelations are emerging, not only through information, but also through inner understanding. Human beings are beginning to perceive when something is false. This shift is being amplified by the massive activity of the solar logos. This is why time feels unstable, emotions surface unexpectedly, and all patterns crumble overnight. The illusion is failing, according to Commander Brilliant via Celia Wilder. According to Rob Cunningham, what is being dismantled is not value but the illusion. What is being built is not chaos but the infrastructure. This is not the end of the world. It is the end of how the world was run. When the power structure loses legitimacy, it doesn't silently disappear, but rather teeters. This instability masquerades as a crisis, but it is a confirmation that the old order has come to an end. This is a moment of transition from the old to the new, not because money is bad, but because corrupt mediation is. Strange things. Mauro Biglino presents an interpretation of the Elohim as a collective of beings of flesh and blood who operated in the physical world. They would be the origin of evil. Linda Moulton Howe admits what she saw in Antarctica. Ancient structures and a massive city 2 miles under the ice, built more than 12,000 years ago by an advanced civilization, with recovered technology being studied in classified facilities. What lies buried beneath Mount Nemrut in Turkey? Ground-penetrating radar detected chambers sealed 2,000 years ago, with passageways and complex structures resembling Egyptian pyramids, possible escape spacecraft or ancient technology, and cosmic patterns in statues of gods. The prophecy of the beast rising is interpreted as the emergence of a world power at the end of times, linked to current events of elite control and spiritual collapse. It is urgent not to worship the beast or take its mark. Collective awakening would shatter its illusion before the climax. According to Kavamur, we are 5 years behind schedule regarding the ED revelation. Black pill takers like David Icke can only recognize the dark forces and never the forces of light. Eric Barlison believes there is a UFO cover-up, not because the government is hiding secret technology, but because of the shame of not knowing what it is. The dark forces don't want us to know that the forces of light are on the ships. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.